guys. Rick Shaw here on the 16th of May, 2023. We had, it's warming up a little bit right now, but we had a cool evening last night. First cool evening in weeks. It's been, we've kind of had a heat wave. I do believe we're in a drought. I've been seeing all this stuff on the weather channels about these big rains and all this kind of stuff, but guys, we ain't getting them. We had thunder last night and lightning off in the distance, but not a drop. And when we did get a little bit of rain the other day, it was just drips here and there. You could have dodged the raindrops, as my mother used to say. But last night, the kids and I, before it got dark, instead of doing a real late walk, because I don't want them being hard to get up in the morning, we took a walk. We were going to walk to the guard shack, and then we decided to get out on the road and walk away, because we were just having a conversation, and Dorothy was asking what this word meant. So I explained it to her, what it meant. And she said, that's not what the teacher said. And I said, sweetie, it's not the teacher's fault. You know, that's not her first language. She doesn't know. And Filipinos, when they don't know something, they'll come up with an answer anyway. You know, because they don't want to seem like they don't know. So I told her, don't, you write the word down and you bring it to me. And I'll help you with that. But ever since these kids started in this school, they're picking up so many bad habits in their speech. And it's something I have to fix every day, every single day. So, you know that if you come here, what's going to happen. You know, because my wife and I had a deal from the very beginning. When Dorothy was born, she speaks to them in Tagalog, and I speak to them in English. So they can flip back and forth, no problem. They got it. And a lot of their school works in Tagalog. They don't seem to have a problem with that. And their English is pretty high, but sometimes I think it's not all the way stellar because the teacher misunderstands the word, you know. So, you know, I'm looking at this stuff saying that's correct, and they got it marked wrong. And you can't talk to these people because they don't understand me. You know, it was like yesterday, I talked to Doc and Russell. Well, Russell calls, he hits me on the messenger when he gets off of work, and a good while after he's off work, and it's me, I'm done taking the kids to school like now, so I have a little bit of time. And it was nice to talk to him. Talked to him for quite a while. Good dude. And just started talking to him only a few months back. Like-minded, you know, and lives in California. Most of the people are like-minded, they're bailing. But I'm seeing this border thing. Now Chicago people are they're getting all crazy. I watched the news thing on them last night. You know, the people are up in arms. They're throwing homeless vets and all this out of places to make way for these illegals. They're illegal coming in. And there's a problem. There's a major problem right there. This is going to change the whole dynamics of the country, bringing these people in. I seen some of the people, they got a date till 2030 before they get a hearing on anything, because there's so many of them coming. You think about that. So it's a bad thing. It's just like Anheuser-Busch, what they did. You know, they shot themselves in the foot. Now they're trying to chop their leg off with a chainsaw. And you've got other ones joining in. They said, we're going to outdo Anheuser-Busch, boy. Coors is doing it now. They're taking up that agenda. Miller Lite is doing it. I saw some of these commercials, and guess what? The other one that really got me, Levi's. You talk about an American brand, they're doing it now. And it's like, what? You know, it's go woke, go broke. And I don't think it's going to be a long time before Anheuser-Busch recovers from the damage they've done to themselves. You know, they get these, you know, most of these people that they put in these positions for the advertising and stuff, I think they rode the short bus to school, guys. And they just push them through this college because they toe the socialist line. So they give them good grades. When I was young in school, they got rid of him real quick, but they brought this teacher in. He was a English teacher, and he was really pushing the socialist stuff. And it wasn't anything about English that he taught, but you were allowed to give yourself your own grade. Of course, I got an A+, because that's what I gave myself. But I remember going back home talking about that. And it wasn't long they got rid of that guy. Then I heard he died of AIDS and all that kind of stuff. You know, he was a sick puppy. And this is what you get. One nice thing that's happening here, and it's been happening for over a week. We don't have pressure like in the States, don't get me wrong, but they've got me so conditioned that I'm happy with a trickle and warm water. But we've been having enough pressure to get a shower. Even through the daytime now, you can still get a shower that's not cold. You know, it's warming up. The thing clicks on and off when it overheats, but at least it's kind of warm water through the day. But in the morning, I can take a regular hot shower, nice Hollywood shower. So pretty happy about that. But talked to Doc yesterday for a little bit. He's taking care of business since he got out. He's got a lot of stuff he's got to do. He's getting around good. He sounds more upbeat than he's in months. You know, I can see you get gloomy when you're stuck in a therapy place. You can't leave and they're feeding you crap. You know, so he's out, he's eating good, he's getting around, and like I say, his mental attitude is just shot through the roof. I could just hear it on the phone. So I'm really happy about that. That's pretty cool because he's another good dude. And I'm really happy that I met so many nice people just because of this channel. You know, haven't met him personally yet, but Gary. Another one I haven't met personally, Sean, up in Burlingame, California. Russell, Mike Simpson. A lot of you guys that come to this channel. Haven't met you in person, but, you know, pretty happy I met you. And then, of course, you got Tropical Tim and Ray. There's some superior people. Mark and Maui. I love Mark. Super good guy. Wes and Ami. You know. And it's all because of the channel, and I'm glad to have met him. You know, Wes was kind enough to leave his motorcycle with me so I could ride it while he was gone. I actually haven't ridden it as much as I thought it would be. It's just because it's been a hassle to get through town. You know, a couple times I took it up to the gate. Morning. I took it up to the gate, and when I saw the traffic, I just turned around and drove around in here a little bit, and. I just, guys, you know, the traffic on a top-heavy bike, you know, I did have a tip over on it. I was dropping my wife off at Badalek, and you got to watch here, like in this area right here on the curb. If there's water that stands in there, and then of course this gravel and all this stuff, it gets slippery. And I put my foot down, just stopping. She was getting off the bike and tipped it right over onto the curb. Scratched up his really nice crash bar. He seen it, he was like, ah, that's cool. He gave me some of that stuff to paint on it. But it's like, it's rough once that thing starts going over. And I'm a big dude. I'm a big dude. It's very hard to keep it. And I see a lot of them. A lot of the police have these bikes, and you see this little 140-pound guy on it, and their feet barely touch the ground. I'm like, damn. I guess they're better riders than me, because I always look to see if their crash bars are all scratched up or anything. And no, you don't see that. But they do, a lot of times when you see them, they got their lights and their horn, and they're moving. They're not sitting in traffic, and they're definitely not filtering. They just go into the counterflow with their lights flashing and tooting that horn, and everybody gets out of their way. So that's a big difference. But you can't filter on the 650. Morning. Morning, Paula. It's just a little bit too wide. But like I say, I'm building up a little bit of sweat now. It's warming up pretty good. When you got hazy like that, it kind of magnifies the sun here. But it is pretty nice here. Our water is just this development, because I know across the street that guy's good water. The guard shack has pressure out the wazoo because it's not on the water from the tank. It would have been too far to run up there, so they have that on the city water. They got pressure out the butt. That's where we were getting water when the water shuts off. We go up there and get it. You know, for a while they were bringing in these big tanks that looked like they were about 200 gallon, and they were dropping 6 and 7. We had to get our water out of there, siphon it out of these tanks. And you know, that's costing that guy some money to do this kind of stuff. And I'm like, build the tank. And one nice thing that's happening is I'm not the lone wolf crying in the wilderness. We got a whole lot of new people moved in here. Look at all these houses going up from when we moved in. And I was complaining right off the bat. I even got people giving me a hard time complaining. Well, you go into a brand new house that's a fixer-upper, that doesn't have water, power goes out all the time. Let's hear how you feel about it, because I think you wouldn't be liking it either. So, but these people now, they're going up and bitching. They got a little association on the messenger, and they're bitching and complaining to the guy. I think that's why he put a pump in or something. Not sure, but it seems like he's got a pump in. And I just hope it gets resolved. They should just put it on city water and be done with it, because he buys it city water to fill his tank. You know, why not charge the lines? But they have fixed a lot of the leaks. I showed them early on when I first moved in here. I went and told them that there's a leak and showed the guard. It leaked like that for months. They didn't care. They came out, this is no kidding. The galvanized pipe rusted through, and it was squirting a pretty good stream of water out, kind of like how a squirt gun would squirt. They got some black tape, I kid you not, and they taped it up. So now instead of squirting out, it just sort of leaked down the pipe. Yeah. Put a Band-Aid on it. That's the thing. But like this place here, I'll be happy to get out of here. You know, very, very happy, because it kind of sucks when you pay. I thought, you know, the house is expensive, 45 grand for this, and I basically bought a brand new fixer-upper. You know, kind of reminds me of that one with what was the guy, Tom Hanks, and that chick from, I think it was the chick from Cheers, when they bought that big house and had to fix it all up. It's what we got here. We got cracks all over the place from this inferior block. We've got windows are bad. Most of the door handles went bad. Every faucet went bad except the kitchen one that I put in. And it's just trouble. It's just real trouble. I'm glad all the electrical's working though. You know, there are some plus things on there. But you know, this place, one nice thing about it, it turned me into a karate expert. I am 100% a karate expert, because how many people can do this? Look at this. Put this over here for you. I am Karate Man. Ready? Kawasaki! So I have to run up to the store today, buy my black belt. I think these are the same company that make the blocks for all them people over in Japan. I think they buy you know, 10 tons of them, and by the time it gets to Japan, they got maybe 3 or 4 blocks. That's why you don't see too many people smashing their head into a block and breaking it. But this is what they build the houses with, and it's all of them. They brought a new load of block in across the street. I don't know if you can see it through that window, center of the camera. It's they just brought those in. You can bust pieces off that. They brought another load in up the street. They used all those crappy ones, and then they brought another load. They're the same way. You know, it's really an inferior product. You start looking at all the cracks. I know the houses are going to settle and you're going to get some, but there's cracks everywhere. I did a vlog on that already. It's just everywhere. And if you see a little crack in their mud that they put on, that means there's a much larger one behind it. So it's just what you're going to get. I do say, guys, if you're going to do a house, do it yourself. You know, do the place yourself. Don't mess. I wouldn't even mess with these guys. I wouldn't mess with any of them. It seems to me when you get a place here, once you pay it, they're done with you. They don't care. We've had to have this entire septic system dug completely out and redone. Windows leak, broken. This big window up here that has there's no openings on it. It's just a solid, you know, basically a solid framed window. Every time we get rain, it's our landing on the stairway where the steps go up and then turn around to get to the second floor. The landing is full of water, and the tiles here Another thing, be careful of the tiles you get. I actually requested non-slip tile. You get a little bit of water on this floor, it's like black ice, and you're going to go down. I've fallen a few times in here. The kids even fall down because of the water, so you have to be really careful. Coming out of the bathroom, we got rugs all over. We try to have rugs so we don't slip. The kitchen, you're standing in the kitchen, you know, we got to have rugs on there because you're just taking a step, you're sliding. So, you know, be careful with that. I've seen places that have just a concrete floor, kind of like this one. But now we're out here, and see how we're getting the green on there. This gets a little wet, it's slippery. This area right here, you can't walk here without holding on. They didn't do anything to rough it up so you can get traction. I think it's because, hey, they don't live here. So, sorry about my wah. But I'd like to get this thing out. I'd like to get this machine out. I haven't really been driving it as much as I should have been. I was glad Wes loaned it to us, but I want to get it out here in the next couple of days. I don't, you know, clean it up. You know, I clean this thing up, and I'm not kidding you. 2 days from now, it's going to look just like this again. All of us have got, because of this sand, all the cats are over there. You see them, you know, there's 50 cats around here. They all dig in that poo and pee. I told the kids they can't play in there anymore. And the breeze blows, and we've all got green planks. All of us got a sore throat. It's just like when we lived in GMA, when they had all the dog poop, and you get the dog poop dust because the dogs crap on the concrete. Within half an hour, it's completely dried, and the tricycle runs over it, and it turns into powder, and the wind blows it up, and you're breathing it. And now it's happening again with these stinking cats. We can't get rid of them. I had complained to my wife and said, hey, I thought you were going to get a guy to take the cat out of here. And she said he did. You know, he did it. But there's just so damn many of them. We've got 3 or 4 that are hanging around here we can't get rid of. They come in the house. It's tough. You can't leave the windows open when we're gone because you come in, they're all in the house, walking on the counter, and who knows who owns them? You know, they don't do cats where somebody keeps them in the house. They do cats that just live. So it's what you get. So this is Rickshaw out.